Thanks for clicking on this video. I'm Jo Ray and this is John, and we like to talk all about things gardening, and in this video, apple trees. My husband established this apple orchard last year. Some plants did better than others, but our big problem is weeds. This is the finished result, and the weeds were horrible. In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to work on a suppression method for the weeds, which is cardboard and then a bunch of wood chips on top of it. And we'll let you know what we thought about it, how it went, and kind of show you the process in this video. Here's the orchard before we started the project, and this is what we're working with. So you can see there are a lot of weeds in there. Some of the trees look a little bit better than some of the others. We have a video on our channel documenting putting this in, and this was the first winter these trees went through. Some of them made it, some of them did not and have been regrafted. First, we're going to be moving all of these irrigation lines, these ones right here. And then we're going to be putting some cardboard down to suppress the weeds. And then on top of that is going to go a bunch of wood chips. Now we have to get loads and loads of wood chips here to be able to do this, to hopefully have this be a little bit more maintenance free in the future as far as dealing with all of these weeds, because the rootstock that these apple trees are grafted on cannot compete with grass and weeds. They will not thrive. We have some wood chips. We're going to need lots and lots of wood chips to get this done. But here's the before, and we'll get to work and we'll show you what it looks like at the end.
So the reason we decided to cardboard everything down is because we kind of have limited access to chips. So we can't do like a super thick chip layer, for one, and for two, the weed pressure, like bindweed, I think can probably shoot up through about any layer of wood chips. And so we decided to try to suffocate it with cardboard first and then put chips on top. So hopefully it can't get through the cardboard. I'm sure it will in some places, but at least it'll be manageable to walk around and pull it out.
Yep, and we have bindweed is what he's talking about. And that weed, it grows on these little roots and they grow all throughout the ground. So kind of once it's in the ground, it's in the ground. And one of the only ways to get rid of it is with spray, which we don't want to do, or possibly some sort of a weed suppression like this. And we wanted something a little bit more natural than the black plastic that we use in our other gardens, because we want this to stay and then to be able to keep adding wood chips and to keep updating it and all of that when trees don't quite make it through the winter and we need to update it. So that's kind of just why we decided to go with this. Plus, this looks really nice compared to if we were to just black plastic it.
Yeah, the soil is subpar to begin with, and so hopefully the wood chips breaking down will also help the trees.
Yep.
And their growing process.
Yep. And also this mulch is going to provide a lot of benefits as far as retaining water. So that will be another added benefit. And like you said, what it's going to end up doing to the soil long term will hopefully be beneficial. So to get this job done, the biggest thing that we needed to do was we needed a lot of cardboard, and it ended up being a lot more than we thought.
More than you think, for sure.
Way more than you think. So how I ended up getting so much cardboard was I put an ad out on Facebook Marketplace. That helped quite a bit for people who were getting rid of big boxes from furniture, or maybe they had just moved and they had a ton of boxes, and then we would make the drive to go get it. And then also I had a couple businesses say that, oh yeah, we get rid of a ton of cardboard, come grab some. So the cardboard at first was hard to get, but then actually really easy to get. And we took about 4 or 5 truckload full of cardboard, I want to say. It was a lot of cardboard. So we ended up laying it kind of thick too, which was kind of nice. So we ended up having a lot of overlapping to hopefully create a really thick barrier for the weeds. And then the next thing we obviously needed was the wood chips. So how did we get the wood chips?
The power company around here is doing a bunch of maintenance to the power lines and had contractors out cutting the trees away from the power lines. Neighbor farm was getting them dropped off on his hayfield to fill in his pivot tracks, and he got way more than he needed, but didn't want to tell him to quit coming. So I asked if we could get some. We drove the tractor over there. It's about a mile away maybe, and just scooped them up into the back of the truck, and then I scooped them out of the truck. Took 8 loads to do this. This is what, like 50 feet long by 20 foot wide. Not very big, but it took a lot of wood chips because I tried to put them on relatively thick. And then I got 1 extra load put on the side, so when I start seeing patches, I can fill it in. Some parts of the country, I imagine it's easier to get wood chips than others, but in our area, it's not easy to get wood chips at all.
We tried signing up for Chip Drop. We tried bugging every tree service company that we saw, and that didn't work so far. Hopefully we still get a chip drop. That'd be nice. Chip drop is a service that works with arborists, and you sign up for it, and it provides the arborists places where they can dump all of their chips. So it should be kind of a win-win, but sometimes maybe they're not looking into it, or at least in our area.
There's not many trees here.
Yeah.
So to be honest, like there's not that much tree work that goes on.
Mhm.
So, and some of those tree companies actually charge for chips and charge a lot of money because they know people want them from time to time. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So right now it looks gorgeous and beautiful. We'll have to let you know on the channel how this ends up progressing, because I have some reservations about being super optimistic about it, even the way we did it. So if you want to chime in the comments and let us know, do you think it'll work? Do you think it'll suppress most of the weeds and this will end up staying a really nice space? Or are the weeds going to find their way up in no time and it's going to be kind of a nightmare because now we have that layer of cardboard and a bunch of mulch on top of that? So I would love to hear your comments. If you've done something similar to this before, that would be interesting, so we can brace ourselves for the future. This video is not really at all about how the trees went this winter. We have a couple videos on our channel leading up to this. So we have the planting and then an updated last fall. We will put another video out on our channel if you're interested about what ended up happening after the winter. You can see there are quite a few empty spaces in here, but there are some trees that ended up pulling through and doing really well. So if you're interested, let us know, drop it in the comments, and we'll make sure to film that before the growing season is over.
Obviously, we're not giving up because we put a lot of work into remulching this.
Yep. So there is a plan for the future to hopefully establish this apple orchard and make it a really nice orchard. And you haven't given up on grafting either, because you put in another orchard, and he's probably going to do another one next year. I'm just getting ready. He can't stop. Hopefully this video helps somebody with an idea for suppressing weeds. We wanted something a little bit more natural that would break down. I see a lot of stuff on YouTube videos about lazy gardening and just cardboard and wood chips and you're good to go. So we decided to try it. We've been growing stuff for a very long time and we've actually never tried this method. So we'll have to let you know how it goes. And this was the process to get it done.
Thanks for watching.